Bruce Lee was born in San Francisco in 1940, after the outbreak of the Second World War. His father, Hoi Chin Lee, was a Cantonese opera artist and Hong Kong movie star. Bruce's mother, Grace Ho, was the niece of a famous tycoon. After his father's overseas performance was completed in 1941, Bruce went back to Hong Kong with his parents. Bruce had 4 siblings, including one elder sister adopted from his uncle. Bruce was an exceptionally energetic child. His nickname was Mao Si-ting, meaning never sit still in Cantonese. Bruce was aware of his talents in bodily movement, whether it demanded precision, power, and rhythm. He consciously cultivated his talents with diligence. He learned Tai Chi from his father and different martial arts from others. At 13, he started to learn the martial art of Wing Chun from the famous master Yip Man. He was also interested in a type of dance called the Cha-Cha. At the age of 17, Bruce won 2 championships, one in boxing and the other in Cha-Cha dancing. Because of his father's connections with the movie industry, Bruce performed in over 20 Hong Kong movies in his adolescence. He played the lead in a movie, The Orphan, to high acclaim before he left for the US for further study in 1959. Bruce first studied drama and psychology and later selected philosophy as his major in Washington University. From his notes that survive today, he had demonstrated talent in philosophy in his early 20s. His own philosophy in Kung Fu, and indeed life in general, was deeply influenced by Chinese philosophy, especially Taoism and Buddhism. Bruce wrote a lot of philosophical reflections and finished a book on Chinese Kung Fu while he was an undergraduate. At one point, he delivered lectures on Chinese philosophy in a senior high school, where he met his future wife, Linda Emery. They got married in 1964, while Linda was also studying at Washington University. Initially, Bruce worked 4 hours per day as a part-time waiter. After work, he diligently practiced his martial arts in an alley behind the restaurant, and he started to merge his personal style into the Wing Chun practice that he learned from Yip Man. Soon, Bruce Kung Fu became famous in the community. He started a private martial arts club and later the School of Chinese Kung Fu at 22. But he was severely criticized by other Chinese Kung Fu masters in San Francisco because Bruce broke the tradition by admitting non-Chinese students. Despite the challenge from those masters, Bruce persisted in his teaching without any bias against his students' ethnic backgrounds. His practice was gradually adopted by other Chinese Kung Fu masters in the US and later around the world. Bruce successfully brought Chinese martial arts to the international arena by letting more people learn what it is about. Bruce had a firm belief that the essence of Chinese Kung Fu was not about any physical skill particular to the Chinese. He treated it as a philosophy of life that recognized no national boundaries. And the core of this philosophy is to understand the authentic self that emerges from the experience of Kung Fu. According to Bruce, if one fully understands oneself, one can transcend the illusory self-image one conditionally projects for different purposes. When the authentic self is revealed, one is absolutely free. Bruce liked to say that we don't have freedom and we don't have our mind because we are freedom and we are minds. No doubt there's a strong mysticism in Bruce's highest ideal of the martial art. At one point, he compares this with the Buddhist Nirvana and the Taoist Tao. Because of his brilliant track record in Hong Kong movies, Bruce signed a contract with 21st Century Fox in 1965. He participated in a number of TV series and a movie, though he played only minor roles. But when he took part in a TV series called The Green Hornet, he got the second lead, a character named Kato. In fact, his outstanding martial arts drew the audience attention more to him than the hero. Since The Green Hornet was also broadcast in Hong Kong, Bruce was well received when he came back to Hong Kong and played the lead in a series of record-breaking Chinese Kung Fu movies in the early 1970s. The first 2 movies were The Big Boss and Fist of Fury. In his third movie, Enter the Dragon, he was not only the star but also played the role of scriptwriter, movie producer, and director. His fourth movie was called The Game of Death. Unfortunately, Bruce suddenly died of cerebral edema after taking a painkiller for his headache from his friend. The entire Hong Kong community mourned the loss of this cultural icon and kung fu master. Tens of thousands of people paid their last tribute to him in the street when his hearse passed by. The life of an epoch-making international kung fu master in this way ended in 1973, when Bruce was only 32 years old.